Okay, so we have the, I guess I called it the Wook base, huh? Yeah. So we have the Wook base using the perfect sub, and there's a couple cool little things you can do on the side here with the modulation. Um, One thing to keep note is that the LFO3 goes to the right here. I did it because it added some swing, but if you don't want it, you could just undo it. Just a nice kind of little thing, so you can just hold it down once and it kind of changes the rate as it goes, gives a nice little swing with some smoothing on the LFO itself. Swing amount, I think, affects the smooth. Maybe not. Let's see. No. Where is this guy going? Matrix smooth. This is 6. Macro 5. Ah, okay. So LFO, so this control, the swing amount is basically controlling how much of this is actually happening inside of this. So if you want none, you can just actually pull it all the way down instead. It's kind of cool, right? And then PD prank, it's pretty much here. Here's a second example of it actually using some of that. So actually, in this one, I actually just rose it up a bit, despite the fact that this was still here. And it gives a very different kind of sound. So if I go back here, so you can mess around with that. That's kind of cool. Pitch goes in the octave of oscillator B. So it sounds super fat because you have 2 oscillators at 0. And then you got the little more highs in that one. Filter amount is basically the, here it is, yep. So just controlling the filter the LFO has going to here. So you can modulate it to kind of like bring in the highs if you wanted to kind of filter it. And then convolve is just the amount of mix on the actual convolve on the splitter here on the highs. You could probably make it go higher if you wish, but it gets a little chaotic, as you can hear. And so if you do that, you want to bring down the gain probably. And mess around with it. And let's see, we have the ones here. I'll just briefly go over these. Why I call it a tiger in a sink, no idea. But it's using several different basic shapes and then just kind of using sync here a little bit. Wave pace, oops, sorry, it's just a sine wave, right? If I turn it, yeah. With the warp all the way up. So without the warp, it would be like this. The attack is this LFO here. So you get a little bit of a different kind of vibe on that. And then, yeah, there's a PD from A on this wavetable. This is do the modulation on the volume. LFO3, probably a filter. If we go to the matrix, LFO2 goes to the effects of filter frequency. So yeah, these guys. I left this. it's not really adding too much, but there's something there. You could probably make this maybe. Let's see if we did it slow. Might be something you could mess around with there. And I think that's mostly it. It's got 2 distortions. Oh, and let's see. Are any of these the sub? It says it's in main. This should actually be so. If you decide to do any filtering that cuts the highs, so if instead of a ladder filter, we made this. We did this, so we're messing with the highs. Then you probably want to make this go to direct out. But when I was messing with it, I didn't quite like it. You can kind of mess around in some other form. And then this guy, kind of the same idea, but sounds quite different. The slope on the LFO is different. Some of the modulation, this is the same. This might be the same. Let's see the differences here. I think there's a different, yeah, so the second oscillator is a different shape, and the amount of the ring mod is different. And I'm sure if we go to the effects, yeah, there's more like movement on this one happening. So this one's more kind of like a high-pitched echo. It looks kind of like a whip. Okay, and so this should probably showcase. In my previous effects, I added this. Essentially, what this is the dry wet. It has a saturator on the wave shaper, and you did some more mixing and match, like mixing around like here and here. And the LFO going to that to kind of like give it a nice little crunchiness. And then sub cutoff, so it's not messing with the sub frequencies here. So what I'm going to do is, because it was a request, I think for all of these patches that I'm sharing out, I'm also going to group all the effects so you can reverse engineer them. And let's see, is there anything else on this one before I move on to the next guy? I don't think so. Yeah, a lot of these I think I've given you all, and then these 2 guys I'll do in the other one. Okay. Okay, and then, let's see, donkey wide. This is like donk. Could be more donkey, I think, if this was more up. Really not much to go on that one, honestly. Let's see. Doop. Alien base. This is a cool one. Let me actually solo this. Without all the stuff. Let me see these here. Probably helps to be on. Let's turn this guy off too. I basically wanted an autofilter kind of doing a double of this just throughout the further in the chain. This is like the other ones. It just controls how much of this LFO you want going on, this filter. And note random kind of adds a little movement or more to the sound. If you were to make it slower, still pretty cool. And this, I basically took a sine wave and just added a harmonic. Pretty standard stuff on the effects. This is, yeah, so the sub is direct out, so that allows us to kind of play around with the lows and mid here. Yeah, not too complicated, not too much going on. What's this one? So I think this is just the same. I think it is just the alien. It's just less, right? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I made the sync slightly different. Yep. So yeah, if you play around with the sync and stuff, you'll get a different vibe. I think there's also, yeah, less effects on this one. Right? I should do that. Fat something. I should probably go back to the other song just so I can do that. I'll go to the fat guys on that. Let's see. Fat Funk. It's like my other funky guys. It's just like really low attack. And not a lot of tail. This is set to quarter notes. You can make it faster if you wanted it more staccato. But that's just controlling the filter. If you want the sub to be separated, you can. I think I was trying to mess around with some filtering and decided that it was too much. But other than that, it's just pretty much distortion and compressor with width on the sides. And both of these, I think I edited the harmonics to both. This was a saw, and this is a sine. Yeah. Sometimes you just go in and start just messing around. You'll get a little bit different sounds, kind of like how you do in like the operator. Hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is faceplant. There's a lot of movement happening here. If you wanted, you could probably make it slower. Yeah. But because I was doing little shorter guys, that's the reason why I did that. I think this is an old one. Owl's an old one. This is pretty raw. I still gotta edit this. But this is pretty cool. So you can see I'm messing with the filter amount on which in the matrix it's the aux source. And it's just a saw and a sine at 2 semitones, PD coming from wavetable 2. And then there's this funny bit. Just let's listen to it. It's kind of cool, like funny little things here. What is going on with macro 2? It's a warp. Okay, so that it's here. Okay, and let's see. So we have Fat Saw 2. in this part I use it. And then over here for version 1, just a little bit more, takes out this guy and messes around different modulation. This one's cooler for like long staccato guys. And I think this guy, yeah, that's in another song. You guys already have that. Yeah. Sub, I added a sub, clean sub. This is the sub that you guys will have. And that's almost it. I think that is it. Yeah, so let me know what you think, which ones you like using, and if there's any other requests. Yeah, thanks.